All right, guys, here we go. If you want to jot this down, that's fine. This is just a brief overview of everything to know for tomorrow with this whole ellipse business. All right. With the ellipse, you have your center of the ellipse, which is my h and k value in the equation. You have what's called a major axis. And you have a minor axis, as you know. In the ellipse equation, you have an a and a b value. Where does that come from on my chart right now? On this graph I have up here, where would the a value and b value be located? The distance from the center to a vertex. So here you go, vertice, vertice, co-vertice, co-vertice here. The a value is the distance from the center to one of the vertices. There's your a value. You square that value to put it into the equation. Where's the b value come from? One of the co-vertices there. Okay, so different color. Here we go. From here to here on the y-axis, there's your b value. I square that when I put it into the equation. The other thing you have to worry about for tomorrow are the foci. Where are the foci always located? On the major. And they're always the same distance away from the center. So this could be foci 1 for me, and I'll put this one as foci 2. They are always the same distance from the center. What do we call that distance? We have a letter for it. C. Yes, that's the C value, everyone. That is the distance from the center to one of the foci is the C value. It's the formula I need for tomorrow that involves A, B, and C. A squared minus B squared equals C squared. Okay? So that's where the A value comes from. That's where the B value comes from. C value is the distance from the center to the foci. Okay? And everyone see, center, center, always in between the vertices, always halfway in between the co-vertices, and also halfway in between the foci. All right? So very easy to find the center depending on what I'm given. Anything you want to ask there? That's a brief summary of what we've done, almost a week and a half now. All right, let's just get after it. There you go. Number 1. There's the equation. Identify some parts to it for me. Center. Zero, zero. Where would a pair of vertices be? Well, let's talk. Take one of the denominators right now. 9. That's what number squared? 3. So that means along the x-axis, 3 is your a value, which means how many to the right and left am I going to go? 1, 2, 3. What's one vertice? 3, 0. And I go 3 in the other direction. 1, 2, 3. The other vertice? Negative 3, 0. What about the other pair of vertices, the co-vertices? What do you do with 2? Take the square root of 2. Go ahead, everybody. Take the square root of 2. It's about what to the nearest tenth? About 1.4. Hey, what are you going to do with this 1.4 now? From the center. 1.4 up from the center because it's along the y-axis. 1.4 down from the center. So what's another pair of co-vertices? What are those points you just graphed? 0, 1.4, and 0, negative 1.4. We're rolling. So at least I can throw up a graph now. There's my ellipse. Foci. Will the foci be on the x or the y-axis? The x. How do I find the distance the foci are from the center? A squared minus b squared equals c squared. What numbers are getting plugged in for a squared and b squared? 9 and 2. We don't square them. They're already squared when I get them from the denominator. Equals c squared. So it's going to be the square root of 7, which is about what? 2.6, about 2.6. So I'm going to go 2.6 units to the right because the foci are always on the major. 2.6 and 2.6 to the left. What are the vertices? Oh yeah, what are the coordinates of your foci? What are these coordinates right here? I just went 2.6 to the right of the center, 2.6 to the left of the center. 2.60 and negative 2.60. That's just the basic one right there. Questions there? Going. Basic one right there. Everyone okay? Let me know now because the next one, obviously, you can see we got to do a little work before we answer any of the questions. Okay, I'm not ready to answer center, vertices, covertices, foci yet. I got to get it into my ellipse equation. Complete the square, right? First step, move some stuff around. Yep, group the x's together. Group the y's together. And move over the 2. I don't know if anybody's panicking yet because there's nothing else with the y. That's fine. That's fine. No big deal. Take out a number GCF if there is one. Is there a number GCF to take out from the x's? Nope, so leave it. There is a number GCF I can take out with the y's here, and that's I want to leave it as, I want to take out the 6. You always want to leave x squared and y squared with 1s in front of them. X squared minus 4x plus, if you want to write it like this, that's fine, equals 2. Now it's time to complete the square. Think you can figure out on your own what number I must add to the x's here? What's that new number I got to add to the x's? How do you get 4? Half of your b value of negative 4, half your b value would be negative 2. Square it. You guys are correct. 4 plus, there's no need, is there a b value here? So we're not completing the square. Just going to be 6 times y squared. All right. It's unbalanced though. You added something to the left. 4, correct. I didn't take out any numbers, so I don't have to distribute anything. So I'm just going to add 4. All right, we're almost there, guys. Factor. Here's where some of you guys get a little lost in the sauce here. Going from here to here, what was half your b value? So it's going to be x minus 2 squared. Take a look at that step. Plus 6. I haven't done anything here. And then over here I get 6. Guys, what's all your ellipse equations equal to? Okay, how do I get that 6 into a 1? Divide everything by 6. Ooh, what happens here now? 6's are gone, so I'm just left with y squared. If it makes you feel good inside, you can put a 1 there because you guys like your denominators, like to see those denominators. Put a 1 there. All right, there's your ellipse equation. Now let's answer the questions. Any issues right now getting it from there into the ellipse? Okay, center. 2, 0. Nice. 2 zip. Here we go. 2, 0. Now, find how much up and above and below, left and right I got to travel. Let's go on the x-axis first. There's a, excuse me, there's a 6 here. How do I find how many units left and right I got to go? Excuse me, square root of 6. What are you looking at? 2 point, what is it? 4? Okay. So to the right and left, everyone, 2.4 units. 1, 2.4, 1, 2.4. Can you name those vertices? Can you name those vertices? Well, you were at what? You were at 2, and then you added 2.4. So where'd you end up at? 4.40. Because remember, I was at 2, right? And I went 2.4 to the left. Or to the right in this case. And now go to the left, everyone. Subtract it now. Where do I end up at? Negative 0.40. Yep. And then how many units above and below do I go? Look at your equation. What's underneath the y? A 1. So up how many? 1. Square root of 1 is 1. And then down 1. So my co-vertices look like it's 2, 1 and 2, negative 1. Solid graph going in now. And finally, your foci. Guys, what numbers should I plug in for a squared and b squared? 6 minus 1 equals c squared. 2 point, I'm going to guess 8, 9. 2.2. That was way off. Square root of 5, 2.2. No, never mind. That makes sense. Okay, where am I going to go 2.2? To the right and the left, because the foci are always on the major one. So here we go, 2.2. About right. Oh, no, how did I go 2? 1, 2. Whew, pretty close to the vertice. 2, 1, 2.2. Can you find those points? Find those foci. The one to the right. The one to the right should be 4.20. And the one to the left, negative 0.20. Yep. Okay, anything there? Because I'm going to jump to something else. We okay transforming it into the ellipse equation and how to use it appropriately? Okay, go to 6 for me. Go to 6. I give you the vertices and the endpoints of the minor axis. What's the equation, right? The equation of the ellipse. I don't know about you guys. I always like to see a little visual, especially since I haven't been doing these for years. So I always like to see a little visual. 0, 6, and 10, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, just barely. Kid's good. Kid's good. There's your minor and the vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Darn it. So they gave you the major and the minor, basically. Right? Okay, what first thing right off the bat for the equation I need before I do anything? Locate where the center is. You can either go halfway for the minor axis or you can go halfway from the vertices that they gave you. Either way here. Picking off the center, what do you got? All right, 5, 6. We're doing some pre-calculus here. Good, 5, 6. So x minus 5 squared plus y minus 6 squared. I know it's going to be equal to 1. What about your a and your b values? Remember what I showed you at the beginning of class, how to find the a and the b here. What should the denominator be on the x? On the x. Ready? Oh, calm down. Count the distance from the center to this vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what number do I plug in? Squared, right? So 5 squared, 25. And now let's do the same thing along the y-axis. Count the number of units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what am I going to put under the y's? 36. Anything else? I'm not doing a word problem. We told you that. So I'll get a little student's choice here. Student choice, you got 3 through 8, basically. 3 through 8. 3 through 8. 7? Yep, sure. And this will be the last one I do, and then you're taking over on your own. Okay. Teach me. First up. What do you mean group, group, group? (9x squared minus 54x plus 4y squared plus 40y equals negative 37. You got it. Number GCF. Number GCF. What would you guys like me to take out first of the x's? 9. Okay. If you do take out a 9, what are you going to be left with? Yep. Don't forget the x. What would you guys like to take out of the y's? Y squared plus 10y equal to negative 37. Time to complete the square. Think about what you would like me to add to the x's inside here. What would you like me to add? Plus, it's always plus, by the way. You should never be minus that c value. Plus 9. What do you want me to add to the y's here? 25, yep. Ready? Tell me how I know what to add to the right side now, because it's not 9 and 25. You took out a 9 to begin with. With that 9 is going to add an 81. And here I'm going to add a 100. Good, guys, good. Finish completing the square now. 9 times X minus 3 square, all squared on the outside. It's always half the b value in there, half the b value. And then plus 4, what do you guys got going on here? Y plus 5 all squared. You guys got to help me out here. 181, 144. Look at that. Okay, next. I don't want to say anything here. Make it equal to 1. 144, 144, 144. Everyone's got calculators that'll reduce 9 over 144 and 4 over 144. Put it in a fraction template, it'll reduce it for you. If you don't have a fraction template, just do 9 divided by 144 and hit math, turn it back into a fraction, choice 1. X minus 3 all squared, that reduces to what, 12? No, 16? You're better than that. And this would reduce down to, let's see, 4 into 14 is 3 times 38. No, 36. Yeah. Center. Here we go. Center, 3, negative 5. It also asks for vertices. So all vertices, a pair of vertices and the other co-vertices. All right, here we go. I don't have a graph on mine, but you guys have a graph if you wanted to graph it or not. Let's start going from the x's. How many units from the center are you going to go on the x-axis? 4, square root of 16. So from 3, negative 5, I'm going to go 4 to the right and 4 to the left. So if you got to do it on your own graph, go ahead. 4 to the right, 4 to the left. What are your vertices from going 4 to the left and 4 to the right? Whoa. What? So, okay, 4 to the left gives you negative 1, negative 5. What about 4 to the right? 7, negative 5. Now your coverts. How many up and down from the center am I going to go? 6. Up 6, down 6 from 3, negative 5. Up 6, what do you end up? 3. And down 6, 3. Negative 11. And I'm sure it's on there. The old foci. Where's the foci going to be, on your x or your y? Where's the foci going to be? Where's the major axes? Along the y. So I'm going to go, hey, so that tells me I'm going to go up and down from 3, negative 5. How many units? Let's find out. (36 minus 16). 20 equals c squared. Oh boy, I'm not even going to try here. I don't know, 4.5. 4.5. So up 4.5, down 4.5 from your center, everybody. Up 4.5, down 4.5. Up 4.5, negative 0.5. Down 4.5. Negative 9.5. There it is. Do you have at least 10 more minutes of work here for this end of the year for me here? Is it too much to ask to get out an answer key as well within your group, at least one within your group? Come on, let's go. Let's get going. I'm looking 10 more minutes.